Okay, that was good. Good. Next part of Coach's Corner here. So someone had a great question about healing performances and meters. The Sparty, who was it you told the story of the tank in first person? It was Ryo. Ryo in our guild. Healing performance and meters. How do you judge performance of the healing class? How do you handle snipe healers, those who heal simply for the meters? And how do you create a cohesive team that is more concerned with healing, keeping the raid alive and healing utility versus topping the meters? Great question. So yes, come and heal. Perfect. It's one less. Topping meters. From that, how do you find areas that you need improvement? And especially in environments where there are too many snipe healers. Also, what do you think about it? What do you think the impact on healing in general will be with discussed change, especially in instant cast or unconfigured expansion? So, separate this question into a couple of things here, and may just come into perfect. So, with this question, back in the day, back in my day, we had assigned healers. You were a tank healer, or you were a raid healer, or you were assigned this group, or you were assigned the melee, and it was your job to keep them alive. Some classes excelled at tank healing, some classes excelled at AoE healing, some classes were just really, really crap. A lot of specs were really, really crap too. Some classes were really good at cleansing, dispelling stuff. Everyone had their strengths, and you had assigned jobs. And if your tank died, you had 3-4 tanks in this whatever boss, sometimes 8 tanks. If your tanks died, it was your fault. That's it. You had to learn to work together as a team to keep your assignment up, and then if your tank didn't die, then you could heal other people. If you felt comfortable enough to keep your tank alive, then you can heal the rest of the raid and top the meters totally fine. But if your tank dies, your raid leader's coming down on you because you were getting greedy and scumbagging, and that's when you deserve to get bitch slapped. Right now, these days, it's such an antiquated term. There's no such thing as, tank healers or raid healers or melee healers. It doesn't happen. There are so many smart heals going on right now. Smart heals like Holy Radiance. I'm not my paladin. But smart heals like Holy Radiance, Light of Dawn, your Healing Rains, all that stuff. It'll heal the lowest HP people. And you don't even have to think about it. There's very little thinking involved. As a paladin, you keep a beacon on your tank. You can roll Eternal Flame on them. And when the big damage spikes are coming because you have your timers, right? You have people calling for cooldowns. Guys, it's just an LFR. I don't care what you tank here. Okay, I'm going to re-queue us. Okay, we're going to re-queue. There we go. Thank you. Thanks for going tank, guys. Just so we can get queued in there. I'm sure Baby Root can solo tank it all. Alright. These days, yeah, it's you assign healers a certain section or group. It depends on the fight, though. On a fight like Protectors. On a fight like Protectors, I'm assigned, a certain group to dispel. I keep a beacon on the tank, and I raid heal. Because there's so much smart healing and raid healing going on. On a fight like Immersive, well, my job, this is where assignments are important, my job is to, watch a certain section of the room so the healing ads don't reach the middle. That's my job. If there's no ads there for me to heal, I move on to the next section and help my friends out. If I, fail at that consistently, well, then I'm not doing something great as a healer. Does overhealing matter? Not really. Overhealing means jack shit right now. If anyone tells you that overhealing really, really matters right now, it does not. It absolutely does not. Some classes will have a crap ton of overhealing. Just a crap ton, because that's how our classes are designed right now. I'm designed around overhealing, so our Disciplined Priest, on preventative damage. We're throwing up shields on people, whereas other classes, they're trying to heal people up. Now, how do you handle snipe healers? Those who simply heal for the meters? With snipe healers, though, if we have too much healing, and you notice that through HPS or whatever, it's tougher to look at snipe healers right now because of the amount of smart heals that are going out on most fights. For example, if we have too many healers, we just drop a healer. That's it. It's better to have more DPS than it is to have an additional healer. Why? Because you have a fight that is 6 minutes long. For every second that goes by, somebody can screw up. Okay, raid leaders, listen to this. This is important. For every second that goes by in that, how long did I say? 6 minute fight, someone can screw up and potentially wipe the raid. by having too many healers, there's no point. I mean, there's no point because everybody's safe, but the potential for that mistake is greater. If you bring more DPS in and drop a healer because you have more gear, because it's easier, you shorten that fight length to 5.5 minutes. 30 less seconds of potential wipe time. You know, of potentially bad things happening. Of your tank being one shot. Of many other, I don't know, raid wiping mechanics happening. That's why you bring more DPS. And how do you handle snipe healers? Well, you just swap them out. I mean, some classes snipe better than others. Some specs snipe better than others. Again, it depends on assignments. You know, on a fight like on a fight like Iron Juggernaut, it's a great one. Iron Juggernaut, the druids love that fight because they get to trank one of the explosions, and they top everybody off really quick. Does it really matter, snipe healing? Not really. I mean, you look at overhealing, you look at the healing meters, you look at who's, you know, healing whoever. If the tank dies, it's all the healer's fault. Bottom line. Nobody's assigned to the tank. Are we keeping beacon on the tank? You know, you look at the Warcraft logs and see why the tank died. And you see their HP go down, you know, to 90%, 80, 75, you know, 50, 35, 20, 10, with only keeping a couple healer times on them the entire time. The tank used their cooldowns, they used their health stone, they used their health pots, they've used everything they could to stay alive. Meanwhile, all of the other healers, they were concerned about, you know, sniping other heals and topping the meters. It's every healer's job, I mean, to keep everybody else alive. I mean, yes, do everything you can to stay alive, but the healers in that situation, they failed. They were not able to keep the tank alive. World of Logs, what are we looking at here? The spoils. How about judging performance of a tank? One sec. Connor, ask me a question in a bit here. Give me a sec. And logs, give me a sec here as well, guys. Any EU hope? Probably not, Connor, not tonight. My hope is EU scavenger hunt next week. Maybe. It depends on how much time we have. Like, I want to spend like an early day with you guys on EU. Do you expect tanks to use health pots or damage pots? Depends on the fight. Depends on the fight. Depends where you are in progression. You know, if you're learning a fight for the very first time, you may not want to use a DPS spot, right? Unless that DPS helps you actively mitigate damage. You know, as a tank, I care about you staying alive, because if you die, the raid dies. But if you don't DPS, the raid's not going to die. Unless your class is broken, like Protection Warriors. Yes, they're broken. They're not overpowered, they're just broken. Next part of this question, how do you create a cohesive team? I mean, you make assignments. You know, we, like on Protectors, for example, or Immersive. Hey, welcome. Again, you know, we have assignments. Protectors, we're assigned to dispel a group. That's it. You know, we help each other out. We're part of a team. And one of the biggest things as a healer is communication. Any kind of raiding, you know, communication is absolutely key. And people that can't communicate, well, you know, there's not a lot of room for them. You find out very quickly which healers are not able to communicate, which is why communication mods are so important. You know, on a mod, like RSA, you know, who has Hand of Sack? Who has Rallying Cry? Who's casting Pain Suppression? You know, how do you know they're casting Pain Suppression? Well, you communicate it. You know, you have add-ons like this, like Hermes, or in my chat here, you know, I see midgets right now casting Spirit Shell, so I know Spirit Shell is activated. I know that's going to be running for the next little while. Or Devotion Aura is being cast. Well, if somebody casts a Devotion Aura, you shouldn't cast yours. I had one guy, I can't remember who it was, message me, and they said, hey, my Paladin in this, like this Paladin trial in my guild, he keeps casting Devotion Aura on cooldown. I'm like, why? Well, that's what we asked him, but he had no response. He just kept casting it anyway. Kick him out of your guild. Like, did you try to tell him? Yeah, but he's not listening. He just does whatever he wants. Oh, in that case, get rid of him. If you can't follow instructions, get rid of him. Those people are not worth keeping. Yeah, no. I mean, is he taking, you know, raid-wide damage? Well, what happens when the big explosion starts happening? What happens then? Well, then you won't have, you know, his cooldown.
Lightning phase.
Silly stuff. And next question here, how do you find areas that you need to improve, especially in environments where there are too many or snipe healers? You drop down healers. I mean, on a fight like Heroic Siegecrafter, you know, we ran, what, 3 healers, 4 healers at times. On Garage, we ran 3 or 4 healers too. That's okay. You know, and that's where your really good healers will stand out. Or you run double discs, and it makes it a lot easier.
Frozen.
I'm trying to think of other examples here where you sort of fix snipe healing. I mean, you bring less healers. You bring your best healers.
Right.
You know, the ones that are most efficient at their job, or the best ones for that that fight specifically. Hey, Darnath. Darnath, I had a job for you.
Attack
I had a
left.
good job for you whenever you're busy. Or, sorry, not busy. We hit Berserk on Heroic Immersive's first kill. Really? It's a little funny. Yes, dear? Okay, what?
Spear.
Attack middle.
Phase
Right.
2.
Stop. Ban you for a little while. But I'll buy us a fan if you're this. I'll buy a fan, okay? I'll borrow Towley's or something. Towley apparently got a fan because his AC is broken. We don't have AC here. Anyway, healers. But you mean you look through logs. You look through who they're healing, what their uptimes are. So for druids, you know, their wild growth uptimes. Or for priests, you know, how often they're casting certain cooldowns. Like with any class. You know, for a paladin, for example, are you running Divine Purpose? Well, you shouldn't be. You should be using Holy Avenger as a paladin healer. You know, are you running, what are there? Sanctified Wrath? Yeah, no. You should not be running that talent either. Again, you're running Holy Avenger. And how many times are they casting their abilities? So, let's say you look at one paladin, and he's casting Holy Avenger once per the entire 6-minute fight. And the other paladin is casting it, you know, 3 times. That's a huge difference. That's a lot of healing done. That's a lot of holy power generated from hitting your cooldown 2 more times. Yeah, I think it's using attack middle, yeah. I can't remember. They invent AC in Canada yet. No, we have igloos, so why would we want air conditioning? It's just silly. You know what I mean, like rejuve uptimes, whatever you druids are looking at here. I can't remember. It's been such a long time. Things have changed so much through the expansion. Whatever uptimes you guys have, or hunters have their black arrow uptimes and lock and load procs, and how often you're doing those things. There's always a way to see, you know, how much people are healing, or what they're healing. Do I think removing reforging will be a mistake? I don't think Blizz will be able to get secondary stats right. Example, Fire Mages really benefit from reforging to get crit they need. Same with Fury Warriors. Fearsome Specs will be unplayable to the end of Worlds of Draenor. You know what Blizzard says, Cameron? Blizzard says, trust us. Just trust us. You know? Just give us a shot here. Just let us try. You know? Because we have such a great track record of balancing things in the past. Just give us a try. Trust us. And if you still feel the way you do, Cameron, after Worlds of Draenor is released, well, then it's too late.
We'll change it in the next expansion.
Just wait. You know, maybe mid-expansion. No, we can't do mid-expansion because we can't do major balancing changes halfway through an expansion, halfway through a tier. Except they do all the time. Don't get me started on this. I don't trust him, he says. They never get it right, ever. Who's getting this? Damn it, Inanna. Oh, I got it, Inanna. Sir. No, you got it. Damn it. I mean, give them a shot. But if you're playing beta now, Cameron, everybody else, now's the time to give them feedback, and hopefully that feedback counts for something. Hopefully.
Spread.
If not, they have their own grand ideas. And if you don't want to play their game, then unsub. Bottom line. Like, I've been a big supporter of Blizzard. I'm not happy with how the ways the game's going, but I play the game not for content, not for gameplay, to play with my friends. You know, that's it. Have I been super impressed with Blizzard recently? No, I have not. You know, the changes they've done? No, I have not. You know, the Careboard capitals, the backtracking, yes, you know, I could go on a whole rant here about Worlds of Draenor and how I was so stoked about it after BlizzCon, and now I'm just, I don't know why I even pre-ordered. Do I think, sorry, back to your original question. Do I think removing reforging was a mistake? Yes and no. I mean, they were right in the sense that it did cause that additional step of reforging,
Sprint.
and people used Mr. Robot because, you know, they were ignorant of what to do. And that was a majority of players. The really good players, they knew that, you know, Mr. Robot wasn't always accurate. And guys, Mr. Robot is not always accurate. Please don't take it as gospel. It is not. You know, Ghostcrawler was right when he said that. Let me get one of these things going here. Now, that being said, one sec here. Yeah, that being said, is removing reforging right? Well, it did allow that customization. However, I don't know. I mean, with secondary stats, I don't think they're gonna get them right either. Like with readiness and multi-strike and whatever sturdiness. What a worthless stat that is. Sturdiness, prevent durability damage. Yeah, that's the best of stats. Really, why would they even put that in? So dumb. In any case, potentially, I mean, they might get it right. It did remove some kind of aspect of that, and people will still min-max gear. You know, you still want crit mastery, right, on some gear, or haste mastery, or spirit mastery, or whatever, right? Because you don't allow them to reforge it. They just pick up different gear. It's more of a cock block for the rest of us, right? You want me to go on to things I don't like about Worlds of Draenor or rant? Oh god, I went on one, you know, a couple days ago. Don't get me started here. Maybe I will, but it's Coach's Corner. It's not rant time with Sparty. Maybe afterwards. I will get sturdiness. Okay, thank you, Megger. You know what? That's the best idea for sturdiness yet. They should put sturdiness gear on all LFR gear. Yes. Yes, they should. Absolutely. You can be infinitely trying for one best of slot piece. Isn't that like it is now, though, hashtag? You know, the one Warforged trinket that you really want. That Black Blood, that, you know, that Dragon Soul trinket, that weapon that has never dropped in your 10-man and never will. Same thing now, right? Same reason we do Diablo, you know, or those of you that play Diablo, for the mythical best in slot piece legendary. Your Warcraft froze? Well, then reboot it. Sturdiness, what a great idea. You know, a better thing for sturdiness would be, you know, on chance of attack, you know, it's like a 1 in 1,000 chance to attack. A little gnome comes out of your gear, starts hammering away at it, and starts fixing it. That'd be a much better reason for sturdiness. What a stupid stat. Multi-strike, really cool. Leech, really cool. You know, not as great, but sure, leech. But multi-strike would probably be a really strong one. And then, and looking at my healing breakdown from when I was playing the beta in Upper Blackrock Spire, multi-strike will be fairly strong. Expect it to be pretty OP. Pretty OP. And the last part of this person's question was, how do you think that, or what do you think about the impact on healing in general will be with discussed changes, especially with instant casts being removed? Well, I mean, some instant casts are going to stay. Holy Shock, for example, is the one instant cast that is staying. Most other casts, like Holy Light, Flash of Light, there's no Divine Light anymore, by the way. So Holy Light, Flash of Light, Eternal Flame, and Light of Dawn, they are now on cast time. So those of you that are Paladins and using Eternal Flame, and those of you that are using Light of Dawn, like myself through Selfless Healer, they all have cast times, again, based off your haste. The whole premise of removing instant casts was to make people stand still a lot more, but from what I've seen of the encounters thus far, there's not a lot of standing still. There's still quite a bit of movement involved. And, I mean, I thought instant casts made for a really fluid playstyle. So I would, you know, cast my Holy Radiance, which would give me Daybreak, and then I would cast my Holy Shock, and that would crit, causing infusion of light, which would make my next Divine Light or Holy Radiance faster. And it was, I mean, it's a much more fluid gameplay. With the current gameplay, it's a lot slower, much more boring. So with the low amount of spirit right now, and in gear scaling and all that other stuff, I have to cast a spell, then I wait there. Then I wait and I regen a little bit of mana. Then I cast my next spell. It's not like it is right now, where there is a ton of overhealing. Oops, that was the wrong spell there. It's just slow spells. You're still casting a little bit of, procs and things like that. You're no longer, charging up your daybreaks, because that's been nerfed to all shit. Now you're just managing your mana. And here's the thing, every start to an expansion, you will always be managing mana. Spear will always be the way to go. I guarantee. I mean, every single expansion, full mana regen. All guilds go through full mana regen. Good, that was good.
Spread.
Nice job, buddy. Spread out, spread out. Oh, why would you all run in there together? I feel this adds difficulty to the game, and the positioning and timing is important. More important? Fair argument. I mean, I did the couple dungeons. Again, dungeons don't speak for all of Worlds of Draenor. Apparently, Iron Horde is only,
Stand in the circles.
one part of the expansion.
Spread.
Timing it is important. Yeah, it's a lot more important, I found. Doing just the regular boss on normal, the whatever. Well, I can't remember what the boss is called. But it was in the first dungeon, the Shadow dungeon. The cave one. Terrangorfing thing. The one that has daggers coming down. You guys remember his name, I don't.
5.
But basically, pull him over to a side, guys. Pull him over. Who's got him? Desiree. Desiree, pull him over to the side. Because right now you're not pulling him anywhere. Timing was very important, based off when the abilities would happen. It was all, critical heals. At what point you use your AoE heal. Other times you just keep heals on the tank. But yeah, timing was definitely important, especially when it's scaled down at such a low item level. I hope the encounters are difficult, like Cataclysm dungeons. Remember, Nicole, do you remember Cataclysm dungeons?
Mm-hmm. Stand in the circles.
They were tough. They were tougher to an extent. Still heroic raiders would wipe
Ball
them.
lightning in 5.
But CC was important, like Vortex Pinnacle. I thought that was a great dungeon. Good amount of difficulty. Right after the Cohesion Chain.
Like, they were easy, like, at the end of shit, but obviously...
Yeah, by the end of it was...
out, and, like, you first got in there.
Yeah.
Sucked balls.
It did suck balls, and that's what the dungeons should be. They should all be sucking balls. Many balls.
Stack. 7, 6.
I mean, they should be difficult like that, and hopefully they will be.
3, 2, 1.
Are you a fan of not being able to fly? I really don't care. I don't think that being able to fly is a big deal whatsoever. I've dealt with no flying for years, and I don't think it'll make or break the game.
Phase 3.
They're right in the sense that it should make the game a little bit more immersive. I've been saying that for years. I've been saying that flight paths and flying have really, have not ruined the game, but they've affected it negatively. Back in my day, there were many fewer flight paths. Many fewer flight paths. And, you'd have 1 per zone, 2 per zone maybe. And that was great, because everybody had to mount up, and everyone had to, go to a different place, and you had to get to a flight point, in case you wanted, a little AFK break to fly around. And based off, back in vanilla, if you were doing, thank you guys, if you guys were doing AQ40, well, you were probably bound in Gadgets or Darnassus, right? I guess you could use Stormwind as Ironforge as a portal, get a port from a mage, and then just fly down to Silithus, or Cenarian Hold, or whatever place that was. That took forever. Yeah, right. I don't think it'll ruin it at all. What I think will ruin part of the Worlds of Draenor immersive experience is Ashran. And again, you're going to get me started on my rant here, but Ashran with portals. You guys remember, you saw what I tweeted earlier. Let me find my thing that I linked here on Twitter a little while ago. Who's got a link to it here? Let me find where the picture is that I linked. Here we go, I found it. This is what Traveling Worlds Draenor will be like. Yeah, they were really hard with uncoordinated groups, but they weren't meant for uncoordinated groups. They were meant for, guild groups or whatever. Yeah, Gribatol was a great one, difficult ones. You missed that, though, because if they're difficult dungeons, they will make players better. Things that are challenging makes players better, makes you a better player, right? If it's harder, you learn and you improve. If it's easy, you don't learn anything and you become complacent and stupid, right? Do you guys want to do any more LFRs here? I still need... Oh, God. Gates of Retribution and Veil. I've done already Veil. I can do Gates of Retribution next. You guys want to do that one? Yeah, we'll do Gates of Retribution next. Sure, why not? Nicole, do you want to do Gates of Retribution?
Yeah.
Okay, that'll be my last LFR for today. But no, I had a question here from somebody else. I had a Hearthstone Snare and Hold since I'm a mage. Yeah, exactly. That's fine. So this is how you will be playing in World of Draenor. Let me load it up here for you guys. So, okay. You're in Ashran, you know, you've got your little steering wheel here. Here's a steering wheel. You know, you got your little steering wheel, and you're playing with your steering wheel, and you go to an Ashran, okay? And now you want to go back to Draenor, because Ashran and Draenor are not in the same sort of continent. Well, they sort of are, but Ashran is a different island. Well, how do you go between Draenor and Ashran? You just take the little portal. Okay? Get your little loading screen, and you're driving along, and you're waiting for your loading screen. Oh, then you want to go to your garrison, which is on the other side of the continent. So you just click your little portal, you click your portal, and you're now seeing the loading screen. And you get to your garrison, and you do your little follower things, and you do your little dailies. Like, oh yeah, I gotta go to, you know, Stormwind or Undercity or whatever. I'm gonna go Hearth over there now, and I'm gonna go put some things on the auction house. So you Hearth over, and you go to the auction house. And now you're at the loading screen again, but different loading screen. And, oh yeah, let's go back to Ashran, so you take a portal again. Take your portal back to Ashran, and you want to go back to World of Draenor, right? Because Ashran, again, is a different part of World of Draenor. It's on its own separate little island. Then you gotta take that portal again. Oh, shit. And then you go back to Draenor, and you gotta go back to Ashran, and take another portal. And then you remember what they said. We want players to be immersed in the world again. Do you guys remember how Immersive Cataclysm was? You all stood around in Stormwind. Nobody explored anything. People flew around. People took portals. That's it. You want to go to, you know, Twilight Highlands? Oh, just take this portal. Save you 30 seconds. Immersive. Yeah, portals are so immersive. They're not.